You think you understand the AI revolution. You've seen the headlines, the promises of faster work, smarter tools, and limitless innovation. But what if behind every story of progress lies another of quiet collapse? While companies celebrate record profits, millions of workers are being erased from payrolls in silence. This isn't the future, it's happening right now. The AI boom has become the greatest transfer of wealth and power in modern history. And for the average worker, it's beginning to look less like innovation and more like extinction. Corporations call it efficiency. Economists call it productivity growth. But let's call it what it truly is: profit without people. Over the last 18 months, corporate America has embraced artificial intelligence like a religion. From manufacturing floors to marketing departments, AI tools have become the new holy grail, cutting costs, slashing staff, and driving stock prices to the stratosphere. The numbers don't lie. Profits for major corporations have soared, yet hiring has flatlined. The economy is growing, but the workforce isn't. So where did all that money go? It didn't vanish. It was simply rerouted, away from human wages and into machine efficiency. The story begins in boardrooms. Inside the polished glass towers of corporate America, executives gathered to make a choice. They saw the rise of AI not as a challenge, but as an opportunity to rewrite capitalism itself. One by one, companies launched AI transformation initiatives. They replaced analysts with algorithms, marketers with machine learning, and interns with chatbots. Job cuts were rebranded as modernization. Layoffs were reframed as streamlining, and the stock market rewarded every single move. Because in the language of Wall Street, nothing sounds sweeter than cost savings. The result was historic. By the end of the year, Fortune 500 companies reported the largest profit margins in over a decade, all while labor participation quietly stagnated. It wasn't recession. It wasn't mismanagement. It was by design. Firms discovered they could generate the same output with 30% fewer employees, thanks to software that never sleeps and robots that never ask for a raise. And the world applauded. They called it the AI boom. But for millions of displaced workers, it felt more like the human bust. At first, layoffs were explained away as temporary corrections after the pandemic hiring spree. But when AI entered the picture, the cuts became permanent. Writers, designers, accountants, and even junior lawyers were replaced by models and machine learning systems that could perform their tasks faster, cheaper, and without complaint. Human error was no longer tolerated. Human creativity was no longer valued. To the algorithm, people became inefficiencies. And in an economy ruled by efficiency, inefficiencies don't survive. Meanwhile, corporate executives framed these cuts as empowering employees. They said AI would free workers to focus on strategic creativity. But those promises rarely materialized, because as soon as departments were freed, they were downsized. The promise of transformation became the reality of elimination. For every job AI created, several others quietly disappeared. The math was brutal but simple. The fewer people on payroll, the higher the profit margin. And when shareholders saw the results, they didn't ask how those profits were made, only how to make them bigger. Wall Street fell in love. Analysts began ranking companies not by how many people they employed, but by how many they replaced. In quarterly calls, CEOs bragged about automation metrics the way they used to boast about new hires. The fewer humans they needed, the higher their stock climbed. AI wasn't just a tool, it was a strategy. A way to make money faster, cleaner, and quieter. Because layoffs make headlines, but AI restructuring sounds progressive. The media called it innovation. But for millions of workers watching their industries vanish, it felt like betrayal disguised as progress. Unlike the factory shutdowns of the past, AI job cuts don't happen in dramatic waves. They happen in silence, one position automated here, another replaced there. No pink slips, no protests, no closure notices. Just job descriptions quietly deleted from hiring portals. Entire career paths vanish overnight without a single headline. And because productivity keeps rising, the economy appears healthy. GDP grows, inflation cools, investors cheer. But beneath the data, something is breaking. The social contract that once tied human labor to human dignity. For generations, the promise of work was simple. If you gave your time, your skill, and your effort, you'd earn security, maybe even pride. But AI changes that equation. Now skill is replaceable. Time is irrelevant, and effort is measured only by how much it costs to automate you. In this new system, human labor isn't the foundation of profit, it's the obstacle to it. And once corporations realized that, the transformation became unstoppable. The very industry that created AI is now cannibalizing itself with it. Coding assistants write cleaner code faster than junior engineers. Copy generators replace marketing teams in seconds. Even customer support, once the largest employment sector in global tech, is now handled by AI agents that sound almost indistinguishable from humans. For businesses, this is paradise. For people, it's purgatory, because while profits explode, wages stagnate. The wealth created by automation doesn't disappear, it concentrates. Not in the hands that once built the economy, but in the hands that programmed its replacement. Meanwhile, governments struggle to keep up. Policy lags years behind progress. And in their confusion, leaders cling to one hollow mantra: reskilling. They promise displaced workers a future in AI management or data labeling. But those jobs are few, competitive, and underpaid. For most people, reskilling is a euphemism, a polite way of saying you're on your own. While citizens are told to adapt, the very systems they're adapting to evolve faster than they can learn. How can a worker compete with a machine that learns a new skill in seconds? Work has always been more than a paycheck. It's how people find purpose and how communities find structure. When work disappears, so does something fundamental in the human spirit. It's no coincidence that anxiety, depression, and burnout have surged alongside automation. For millions, the world no longer has a clear place for them, and society hasn't yet built a new one. The AI boom didn't just rewire the economy, it rewired our sense of meaning. AI was supposed to make life easier, shorter work weeks, more leisure, universal abundance. That was the dream, the science fiction promise we grew up with. But reality took a different turn. Instead of distributing benefits evenly, AI concentrated them vertically. The same technology that could have liberated humanity from drudgery has been harnessed to enrich those already at the top. Automation didn't end labor, it privatized it. Now the machines work for corporations, not for society. And the wealth they generate flows in one direction, upward. The real danger isn't automation itself, it's who owns it. A handful of tech giants control the majority of AI infrastructure, the servers, the data, the algorithms. They control the future of work, and by extension, the future of everyone who works. In the 20th century, governments regulated power plants and oil fields. In the 21st, they'll have to regulate neural networks, because whoever controls the code controls the world. And right now, that code answers to shareholders, not citizens. Many argue this is the price of progress, that technology has always displaced some jobs while creating new ones. But here's the difference. During the industrial age, machines replaced muscle, not the mind. AI doesn't just automate labor, it automates intellect. It can design, decide, and even deceive. And when intelligence itself becomes synthetic, the economic foundation of human value begins to crumble. We are no longer competing against tools, we're competing against something that learns faster than we ever could. The consequences are already visible. In major corporations, hiring freezes have become normalized. Job descriptions include AI literacy as a baseline, excluding millions from even applying. Meanwhile, productivity metrics keep rising, giving policymakers the illusion that everything's fine. But it's not, because an economy without wage growth isn't an economy, it's a machine eating itself. The profits generated by AI don't circulate, they accumulate. And when wealth stops circulating, society starts fracturing. We've already seen early signs. Middle-class neighborhoods shrinking. Small businesses folding under pressure from AI-driven competitors. Gig workers replaced by automated platforms that undercut human pay. Incomes stagnate while living costs rise. And yet, corporate balance sheets look better than ever. It's a strange duality. Prosperity without participation, growth without opportunity, an economy that thrives while its people struggle to survive. This isn't conspiracy, it's math. Corporations are spending hundreds of billions on AI integration and automation tools. The expected return on investment? Trillions in savings over the next few years. Savings that won't go to wages, pensions, or benefits. They'll go to dividends, stock buybacks, and executive bonuses. That's not innovation, that's extraction. A digital gold rush where the pickaxes are algorithms and the gold is your livelihood. Despite all this, there's almost no political outrage. Governments measure success through numbers, not narratives. If GDP rises, they call it victory. They don't ask who that GDP belongs to. They don't see the families working 3-gig jobs or the graduates drowning in debt while corporations automate their futures away. Politicians celebrate AI competitiveness while ignoring the human cost of that competition. It's a quiet hypocrisy, wrapped in optimism, sold as progress. The truth is, we've reached a breaking point. AI can't be uninvented. Automation won't slow down. The question now is whether we shape it or let it shape us. This technology doesn't have morality, only direction. And right now, that direction is determined by profit. But profit isn't purpose. An economy built purely on efficiency forgets the value of humanity itself. There's still time to choose differently. AI could shorten work weeks, increase wages, and create abundance. It could amplify creativity instead of replacing it. It could democratize opportunity instead of concentrating it. But that requires intention, not just invention. It requires policy that protects workers, taxation that redistributes automation gains, and a culture that values contribution over cost-cutting. Because without balance, this new age of technology could easily become the new age of inequality. Every major economic transition in history, from agriculture to industry, from industry to digital, created winners and losers. But never before has the gap been this wide or this permanent. Once AI systems take over critical economic functions, they don't give them back. They don't retire. They don't negotiate. They just replicate. And the humans they replace, they don't get a second act. At the dawn of an economy that no longer needs most of its participants, consumption depends on debt and production depends on machines. Growth is celebrated even as livelihoods vanish. It's a fragile illusion that can't last forever. Because sooner or later, one question will echo louder than any quarterly report: who will buy the products if no one earns a paycheck? Capitalism still relies on human participation. You can't automate consumers. You can't outsource demand. And you can't build a thriving society by eliminating the people who sustain it. Corporate profits might be at record highs, but human prosperity isn't. And that imbalance is unsustainable. Every empire built on exploitation eventually collapses under its own weight. The AI boom will be no different, unless we change its course now. History isn't destiny. The future is still being coded, line by line, decision by decision. Who's writing it? Will it be the corporations chasing quarterly earnings or the citizens demanding fairness? Once the algorithms are set, reversing them won't be easy. If we don't fight for balance today, tomorrow's economy might not include us at all. AI is not the enemy, but indifference is. And the longer we mistake technological growth for human progress, the more disconnected those two become. Machines may make money, but only humans can give it meaning. Maybe the next revolution isn't about smarter AI. It's about smarter choices, about redefining success not as efficiency, but as equity, about proving that the future doesn't belong to the algorithms, it belongs to us. Thanks for watching Financial Focus, where we follow the money and uncover the truth behind it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next story they don't want you to see.